Yay Media Group.
You want to see fire? Because Leighton's back down here.
I'm about to. I'm sitting here again. I'm like, is this kid trying?
Hey, you want to hear a joke?
No.
Knock, knock. Go upstairs.
Hey guys, episode 254. We are leaving tomorrow morning for Chicago.
Well, first off, happy Father's Day to everybody out there because you're going to be hearing this on Monday.
No, they're not, are they? Oh,
yes,
yeah,
girl.
they are.
Yes, girl. It's Wednesday.
You said that because I got my big hoop?
Yeah.
That's how Peyton would say.
Yeah, because we're doing this because we're going to be in Chicago.
That's right. That is right. Oh my gosh. Everything is just like mixed up. I don't even know what day it is, what time it is. I was talking to you about that today.
Yeah, you never know what day it is.
No, when you're not sleeping, I could never be a new mom. Like going back to like no sleep. I'm so used to having my sleep. And if I don't get my sleep, I am all over the place.
All right. Well, let's settle in a little bit, her, and take it easy. You know?
Hot in her.
It is hot in her.
Yeah, it's so hot outside right now. Okay. What was I talking about? What was I just saying?
I don't know. I'm very excited to hear what's going to come out of your mouth.
I don't even know.
Nobody does.
Oh yeah, we're going to Chicago. Jeff's going to be with his dad. I'm going to go down and see my grandparents. I talked to my mom and brother. They were driving up there today, and I called him like 20 times and was like, "Where are you guys at now?" And Peyton just makes me laugh.
I know.
Like he's just the navigator. Funny. The whole thing, like taking over. And like my mom's when somebody's on the phone, you just don't answer while they're on the phone. You're like, okay, I'll call this number back.
Yeah.
My mom's on the phone talking to my grandpa, and I FaceTime Peyton, and he's like, hey, Lisa. And then I'm like, what are you doing? He's like, Mom's on the phone. And he's like trying to have a full-on conversation.
While he's driving?
Yeah, while he's driving.
It's going to be good. It's good to see family and make time, and go back, especially since we live in Colorado. It's going to be a good weekend. So Jordan's going to stay with us in Chicago for one night. We'll have dinner with all my family, and then she's going to take off and hit the road. And you got to see your grandparents when you can.
Know.
It's like
my grandma, when I was talking to her, she said, when was the last time I saw you? I can't remember. And I was like, well, I think it was like a year and 4 months ago. And she goes, really? And I was like, yeah. I was like, it's either that or 2 years ago, but I'm pretty sure it was like a little over a year. But I was thinking the other day that I can still call their landline number, and it's the same voicemail. You reach the home of Art and Mary Heath, and like my grandpa has had that same voice message on, and my grandma has like the old phone, like with the long cord that you used to twist in when I was a kid.
Dude,
she's got one of those old school phones.
It's not a rotary, is it though?
Oh no, not
okay.
not those.
I didn't know how
she's
old.
got like the old. It reminds me so much of Honey, I Shrunk the Kids. Not Honey. Is it? Yeah. Honey, I Shrunk the Kids.
Yeah.
And the teenager daughter has that phone. And hang on real quick. You got to go upstairs. No, we don't. You have to go upstairs.
It's in the garage.
Now.
Go outside and get it and color on it.
Go upstairs.
It's in the garage. Go. You could leave that in there. It's
Leighton's
summer break.
Feeling good now. And now Lawson's sitting right here by us. He has fever.
And now the neighbor's
and he's
over.
Not feeling good. And Leighton gets goofy because they know people are listening to this. And then they try to be louder so people can hear. And it aggravates me like right now as I'm talking.
Jordan's so pissed right now. I don't know if you guys could tell. If you're watching this, Jordan's pissed.
Yes.
I could just tell by her face. It gets a little more red and she's ready to explode. And when I see that, I'm like, I'm glad it's not me. But you're going to have that's another thing. You're going to have a nice drive. It's a couple hour drive.
I need a break from the kids. They're just
But you're just going to have different problems. Not problems, but you know what I mean? It's going to be, you're going to be with your grandpa like, oh man, grandpa really likes things done his way. And like,
oh, totally. But it's good just to go. I get to see my aunt, my cousins. I don't know. I just need that refresh. You know how you feel, like I told you, I felt like you were sad when we were gone because in a way I think you wanted to be on that camping trip with your dad and brother and Tony. But then you were like, oh, I need to have this experience with my kids at Disney. But I felt bad. I was like, oh, we're doing this, but it just so happened it was the same exact time that they were all
No.
going.
What are you going to do? I got to take my kids to Disney World and have that experience. You know what I mean? But you wouldn't, I don't want to keep harping on it, but we have these everyday problems and the world's against me and all that. It's like, what really matters in the end is family. You know what I mean? So you want to soak up as much time with your kids, your parents, your grandparents, God bless you, still have them, so it's like you want to soak up those times because you never know when it's going to be the last.
And I also feel like I don't know, I just feel like you said, you never know when it's the last, and it would really bother me if let's say just because when I'm in Chicago, I'm only 4.5 hours from my grandparents. Right. And I'm like, I'm right there. Like if I just make that extra effort to go see my grandparents, they appreciate it so much and they are happy. And then when my mom comes in town and visit, she's helping me with the kids. So I feel like I don't really get that one-on-one time with my mom either, and like really get to spend time with my mom. And when we're at my grandpa's, we're all sitting outside in my grandpa's like 80s looking chairs that he still has, like you talk about your dad having his camping gear from when he was in high school or college. That's like my grandparents. Like, so like if nothing, they have bicycles.
Were they on Big Brother? Did they ever go down to Shawneetown?
Oh yeah.
Oh, they were. I was
because
gonna say,
it's country looking. And
so they did go down to Shawneetown.
Because they did the City Boy, and then they did I'm not Charlotte. I mean, I grew up in the suburbs, but it wasn't like my grandparents. It's like country. And I always laugh like, your grandparents are not Southern unless they got a picture of Jesus on the wall. Like that is true Southern people. You got to have Jesus on the wall and like all the crosses and everything put up. But like my grandparents, all my grandma's decorations are exactly how they were when I was a kid. Like if I went back and looked at a VCR tape and
they still have a VCR?
Yes. When we were on Big Brother, this was 17 years ago. That's how they would watch because they go to church. And so church is Sunday day, Sunday night, Wednesday night. I don't think they go to church as much on Wednesday nights because my grandma hasn't been feeling well. And it's just a lot on her and they're getting older. So they do Bible study. And it's just so cute. And my grandpa, when I went to go see him, this was a couple times past, he goes, those are all your Big Brother tapes. I go, what do you mean? And he goes, we go to church and we would tape them so we wouldn't miss. And then when we come home from church, we would eat and then we would watch you on that VCR. Isn't that? And that was hilarious. In 2009.
I know because when I was on Around the World for Free, we went through there.
Oh, yeah.
Hold on. Let's take a quick break real fast because I got to get organized and then we'll come back and do our thing.
Okay, we told the boys this on the trip, and I've seen these memes on Instagram. And it's so funny because it's so true. You tell your kids, stop that. And I always tell the kids, I should not have to ask you more than 2 times to stop. And then it takes me 50 times and you continue to still do it. And they do it to aggravate me because they know it aggravates me. And then they know I lose my cool. And then they tell me I have an anger problem. It's so true though. Oh my God. But like, and Jeff and I on the trip told the boys, we're like, if you just listen, you could have whatever you wanted.
Seriously. Because we spoil them as it is.
Who doesn't spoil their kids?
And if they listened, I'd be like, no problem.
Yeah. And they're like, you're so good. But when they're one-on-one, they're so good. And then when you put them both together, oh my gosh.
And then they act like little jerks, and it's for no reason out of anywhere. Can I have a toy?
No.
Can I have a toy? Are you insane?
Yeah. I'm like, it's not your birthday. It's not Christmas. It's not like, what do you need a toy for? Well, I did a good job today. Okay. What else? Did you help me pick up? Did you do something to help me around the house?
It's just, I don't know. It's just, kids are like, I'm getting old. Speaking about getting old, I'm getting old because people in society remind me of children. It's the same thing. Like people don't do their job and they, whatever it is, or people.
No, I know where you're getting this.
But it's whatever, like customer service. Or if you call someone to do a job at your house, or if you're working, I need a raise. A raise? You don't do shit.
Well,
you already don't do shit.
Hang on, explain this. It's because you went to Lowe's today.
Well, yeah, I don't. I was kind of that. I did have
and
to.
that's what, and you're kind of describing somebody that like didn't help at all. And you were like very annoyed and you were just like, why does nobody help anymore when you have questions?
Well, listen, I mean, it's the hard, think of like the old school, if you guys are a little older, the
like
old
Sears.
school hardware stores. You know what I mean? Like Ace Hardware. That guy who worked at Ace Hardware or whatever your hardware store is in your town, that dude that was his career. You know, that was his business. That's what he did. And maybe his kids worked there or someone else that was in the family. And that was their business. And they've relied on customer service. It wasn't about how much you make. This is my business. You know, everybody, no matter what industry you're in, is laying people off. Yep. And nobody wants to work anymore. Like nobody is putting in that time. The father-son business that, you know, like nobody goes to school to be a plumber anymore. It seems like, I'm sure obviously there is, but I just don't understand like society anymore. I went into Lowe's. I don't want to even call this person out because they were going through a mental episode. Like it was obvious. And I just asked a question. I'm like, hey, do you have drip lines for, your sprinkler system? I don't think that maybe they were having an episode. They didn't even know what a sprinkler system was. And I wanted to be like, are you okay? But it was so like apparent that I didn't even want to, I was like, should I get involved? Like, should I say something? And my internal self is like, help that person. But then their back was turned and like their nose was running. There was a whole thing going on. So I was like, all right, I don't even care about I got to get out of here. So I left like the garden section. I go inside and I'm like, hey buddy, I asked some other guy, hey, do you got drip lines for this? And he's like, what is that? I'm like, I'm on your website. I'm like, this is your website. Do you have a picture? This is the picture. Do you have this? And he's like, I don't know. Go check the garden. And I'm like, I'm not going back out there. That guy's out there having a panic attack. And so I'm like, what is happening here? Usually I go to Home Depot. I don't know. I'm so old with these things. And I go to some other guy and he's like, I don't know, man. You might want to check where the sprinklers are. And I'm like, dude, does anybody know what they're doing? Like, does anybody, just wherever I go, if I ask a question, if I'm anywhere, the post office, if I go somewhere, hey, do you know what this is? Oh, you know what? I don't think we got that. You might want to check with that person over. Everyone just passes the buck. Nobody's willing to solve a problem anymore. No one's like, hey, you know what? I don't know what it is, but let's go figure it out, me and you. What happened to those days? Am I just running into the wrong people? Nobody like in the store makes eye contact. Everyone's like freaking out because they have to be social. It's just everybody's a weirdo to me. But maybe I'm a weirdo. Maybe I'm the weirdo. Somebody let me know. Because I want to get to a point or an age that I just want to be like, you know what? I'm 75. You're a fucking nut job, dude. See you later and just leave. I want to be Larry David. I want to be like that old and just call people out in society and be okay with it. But I'm not there yet because I have too many feelings for other people or what they're going to think about me. Like, I don't know. I should have helped that person today. But what am I going to do? Sorry. That was a little rant. Nobody does anything anymore, including me. You know what I mean? I'm trying my best, but nobody's giving me opportunities. It's like, are you hiring? No, we're downsizing. Everyone just got fired. Let's put out the best product we can, except we have no one to edit because we fired everybody. It's like, what the fuck is going on? What's happening? What?
Feel better?
What?
Do you feel better?
No, I don't. It's getting worse. I think I'm going like I'm having a thing now.
I have panic attacks frequently, I'm not even in there.
I'm having an anger attack. I don't understand society. I go on the internet. This color's black. 60% of the people be like, no, it's white. This color's white. No, it's purple. No, you don't know what happened when my son's colorblind, you asshole. Like, what? I don't even know what's happening anymore. It's just insane.
It is funny you said that. I asked a question the other day to this lady. I was in a store and she looked at me and like kind of clapped back at me. And I was just like, I just asked in my head, I was like, I just asked a question. I was like, all right, thank you.
Yeah, everybody passed the buck.
She was just like, almost like, why did you ask me that? And I was asking her about neatos. I think that's why she got mad.
It's not everybody. There are still good people out there, but I'm just saying I think it's just crazy.
Probably feel like not appreciated at all. And then maybe they just feel like this isn't my career job. I don't care.
Well, I think again, maybe a little bit includes me. I think just this victim mentality that everybody has, that they should be somewhere else instead of like, you know what? There is one guy. I get gas, like going to work or something. And there's this place that I stopped in and I met this guy and he's a young kid, built dude from another country. And I was like, oh, what's going on, buddy? How are you today? And he's like, good, sir. How are you? How's your work doing? And he's like, you know me, I'm putting in my time here. I'm going to school. I need to get this done. And I can't wait to start my career. No matter, I get in there early. You know what I mean? I'll go get a coffee or something.
Where is he? At the news station?
No, halfway to the news station, like down Santa Fe. You know, there's this gas station I pulled in one day, but now since he was so nice, I go in there like in the morning or get a coffee. I don't go in there every day, maybe like once or twice, maybe once a week or something. And then every time I see him, how are you, sir? Good to see you, my friend. Good to see you again. And he's like, and just positive. He works at a gas station. He's like, you know what? I'm doing this. I'm putting in as many hours as I can here. Then after this, I go right to school. Then I study. I work out. I get up and I do it all over again. And I go in there because that guy gives me good vibes. And I'm like, buddy, anything I could do to help you? Yeah, I can't. I will, man. I don't know if I can, but I'll help you, you know? And we're the people like that. Like that guy's going to crush life. I just know he is, you know? And I like that other guy. What?
The guy at the Bahamas.
The Bahamas. I love talking to people. And those are so few and far between these days.
Jeff will like disappear. I'm like, where did he go? And then I look and then you're down there at the beach, like having a heart to heart with that guy.
Because I love talking to people that life inspires them. And, you know, we were just talking about like how fast it goes and how short we have time to spend with our family and how quick your kids grow, you know? And now you go outside, you try to enjoy something or you need a little help. Everyone's got their, you know, their head down. If there's a car accident, everyone's filming it. Nobody's helping. You know, and I know I'm not saying everybody. I'm just saying I feel like the world has changed a little bit, but it might just be me. It might just be me, you know? Yeah,
I think maybe too, you're just getting older and
it's true.
And things might be bothering you more.
Yeah, but I start my day, I'm like, gonna be a good day. And then I get to the stops, I'm like, fuck you too, man. And I'm like, well, this is going to be a long one.
I feel like people in Colorado have a lot of road rage. I thought in California it was bad, but I feel like in California, I feel like Colorado, they have a lot of road rage.
And then they like cut you off in their Subaru with their bike rack. And I'm like, you nerd.
And you're just like, nerd.
Dude, it's Subaru crazy here.
Well, you're in the mountains.
We were driving, I did it, me and my buddy Jose, he does the camera work. He's a producer. I talk about him a lot. But we were out on a job and we said something about a Subaru. Like, there's so many Subarus. And we didn't know. He looked and he goes, oh, dude, every single lane has a Subaru.
You know why? It's because it's like if somebody told you to pay attention, like, pick out every red car and then you would notice all the red cars when if nobody said that before, you wouldn't notice it.
Yeah.
That's just like, isn't that how they like train your mind? Like negativity.
Yes.
If that's like, if you focus on one little negative thing, then everything's negative to you.
Yeah.
Am I saying that wrong?
No. I know exactly. It's like a motivation thing or a mind trick or something like that. That's so weird you said that because I think we were touching on that a little bit. Maybe was I talking on the podcast about that or with someone else? But it is all mental. You know, it is what you focus on. If you focus on the negative, things are going to be negative. Right. You know, if you focus on the positive, your outlook's going to be positive. I really, truly believe that. And it's like, even think of like office jobs for people at work or they're at work right now. You go into work on Monday. There's a feeling that Monday gives you, but your mind is still your mind doesn't know what day it is.
Yeah.
You're telling your mind, right, it's Monday. I got a long week. This is blah, 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 but whatever's going on in your head, you mentally tell yourself things like that. And then on Friday, you got a little skip in your step. You know what I mean? Oh, I'm getting paid today. But your mind is the same. Right. You're just telling it, it's Monday. I got a long week and today's going to suck. I'm tired from the weekend. But if you thought of every day like a Friday, it would totally change your outlook on life. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I wish every day felt like Friday. I love Friday.
And I know, but you also have to go through the good, or the bad to appreciate the good. I get all that. You know, I'm trying to train my mind again. Everybody slips, you know, you're going to have bad days. That's just a given. But I was thinking that the other day and I was like, it's weird.
You are pretty calm though.
What?
You're way calmer than you used to be. You used to be just angry. You're so much calmer.
I'm way calmer, but I used to be more positive. I'd rather get back some of that fire and bring out more of that positivity. You know what I mean? Because I like the fire.
Right.
It excites me. Maybe not other people, but it excites me.
Right.
You want to see fire? Because Leighton's back down here.
I'm about to. I'm sitting here again. I'm like, is this kid trying?
Hey, you want to hear a joke?
No.
Knock, knock. Go upstairs.
This is the worst podcast.
No,
today.
it's life. I mean, this is life.
Like, this is our summer and what it's like. What am I trying to, what was the other thing I was going to say?
We're talking about positivity and being calm.
Calm?
See?
I was calm. I was totally calm.
The universe is testing
Wait till
us.
that red button stops recording and then everybody's going to, Jeff. What was it we were talking about in the car with the kids? And you were like, mommy's a monster when she's on her period.
I said that?
Because I was like super snappy with
Oh
you.
my gosh.
And okay, so I saw Big Brother's coming up. This is for all the people who watch Big Brother. I saw Big Brother's coming up, and this is all allegedly. None of this is like for sure. They're saying that it's a return, like players are returning to play Big Brother again. If that is true, I hope not. I want all new faces.
But I think, listen, who knows? Everyone speculates every year.
I'm just bringing up the conversation. Because I enjoy, after a while when you see the same, like for instance, let's say we went back on again. Like people would be like, are you kidding me? Like these two again? Like it just gets old. Like you want to see the fresh faces. But
I think now reality television, if you do watch reality television, I think that's what they do now. You know, like the challenge, I think, started with that. And they keep all the same people.
But that's
and people,
the challenge.
I know, but people really like that, I think.
But that's different. It's just
like
more of a competition. I know Big Brother's competition, but it's more slower. Like the challenge, you're all in a house and you're fighting. It's just different. Like they give them alcohol, they take them out, and you kind of get a glimpse of like everything. I like that, returning players for
But every show is like that.
Yeah, but like Survivor, I don't watch Survivor anymore, but
they just brought back, they had the 50th anniversary. They brought back everybody.
Oh, they did?
Yeah, it was all returning players.
The whole season was?
It was their 50th anniversary.
You know, you think you wouldn't forget people's faces, and then you see, and you're like, wait, how do I recognize that person? And then you Google it, and you're like, oh my God, that was my favorite season, but that was 15 years ago.
Yeah, but
you and I at one point were really into Survivor. Me, you, and Louie.
Yeah. But I'm just saying, I think, reality TV people get longevity with that, you know?
Yeah.
I'm just thinking of like Vanderpump or Summer House. They all do the same thing. It's all the same people. You know what I mean? And then they have go find a suitcase on an island, whatever these things are now. And it's all people from reality shows, you know?
Yeah. I guess it brings an audience. It keeps bringing people because they're popular.
I'm really shocked that we haven't got, there's some really dumb shows out there. We haven't even got one phone call in 15 years to do a reality show?
You were busy.
I know.
You were
but I'm just saying, I'm very shocked.
Your career, and you were working on like Daily Blast Live. Like you had no time for anything.
Right, but you were a past winner. You know, like some of these past winners have been on Big Brother like 5 or 6 times.
Who though wants to go on Big Brother 3,
but it doesn't,
4,
I'm not
5
saying
times?
that you would do it or I would do
I
it.
would never.
I'm just saying like, hey, are you guys interested in
Probably because we've
getting
said
shot out of a cannon for this show, like whatever it is, something goofy. You know what I mean? I'm not saying put us on Survivor. I'm saying like it's I don't know why. It's just you see all these faces, and it's just I'm like that's crazy. We never got a phone call.
Well, like when I went back for reindeer games, it's not the same. It's so different.
No, I know it's not. I'm not saying like we would do it or not.
Going back to we're older now. And maybe we're just like
totally. You age out of things, but you're not old. There's people older than you that's been on 8 times on different shows.
I would do Traders, but I think that's like the only one that I would do because I feel like Traders in a way is kind of like Big Brother mentally, like messing with people.
Yeah, but where are you on that list?
Never.
That show's gonna go on.
They would be desperate. It's like Dancing with the Stars. Now they just get influencers because I think they're just running out of people because how many stars can you get?
Yeah, I don't know.
Because I used to love Dancing with the Stars and watch that all the time. But then once they start changing the host, you know how they kept changing? It was like things were different and I just kind of fell off. I was like, I don't really like this anymore.
I don't know. TV's crazy. It's crazy. I don't even know like what good numbers are these days or what keeps you afloat. But I think all these shows, knows. But they're all going to streaming. So like Big Brother's on air, but you could also watch it on the Paramount Plus, you know? Mm-hmm. So everything's getting... Speaking
of Paramount Plus, we're watching The Duttons. Isn't that the name of the show?
Yeah, the
Dutton Ranch.
Not spin-off, but the continuation of Yellowstone.
Beth and Rip. Yeah. It's so good. I'm like really into it.
Yeah, I'm into it now too.
It reminds me of just like a soap drama that's on at night.
But it's just, you know what it is? Same with reality TV or, you know, regular TV. Once you fall in love with those characters. You want to see the same characters and you're kind of rolling the dice if you bring in a new cast. You know, like when on your favorite reality show, Jersey Shore, you bring in someone that wasn't on the show, everyone's like, I just want to see those guys.
Right.
You know, like if on Friends, if they brought in a new character as part of the friend group, you're kind of like, that's not their friend, even though it's all pretend. You know what I mean?
Do you ever think on like Friends, do you ever think any of them felt like sad? Because I didn't watch Friends, but Jennifer Aniston is, I feel like, the face, her and Courtney Cox. And then Phoebe.
I think they pretty much shared a load.
Yeah, but Phoebe, what's her name in real life? I don't know what her real
Lisa Kudrow.
Okay, Lisa Kudrow. Not as much. She's like Romy and Michelle.
She's got a show out, I don't know, on HBO or something. It's kind of like Matt LeBlanc had. Mm-hmm. Matt LeBlanc had this show called Episodes.
I watched that sometimes
I loved that show. I loved it. Yeah. I thought it was hilarious. And he kind of played himself. I think Lisa Kudrow's show is similar because I want to check it out.
Is she a comedian?
I don't think so. No. Maybe. I don't know. I don't know enough about her. I know what you're saying. Jennifer Aniston probably makes the most money out of there.
Yeah.
Or is still more relevant, but I think they all did fine. I think they're all pretty good.
There was Andrew Keegan was on a podcast.
Oh, that's that dude from the 90s, right?
Oh, I loved him in the 90s. He was like such my crush.
Yeah, because I saw him at a bar one time when I first went to LA.
Him and GP were neighbors.
Oh, yeah, that's right. I did know that too. I forgot about that.
And remember, he came over.
He came out. That's right.
And
was that the bad clams? Was that the day I had bad clams? Or was it a different day?
When you were barfing?
Yeah, no, because we left pretty fast after I ate those mussels or whatever.
Maybe. But
I remember seeing them, but then we left. Sorry.
Well, continue. He walked
I totally forgot about that.
And I was like, oh. And then in my head, I was laughing to myself because I was like, oh, my 12-year-old self.
Oh, no, you were
pictures.
No,
it was not.
You were flustered. Oh, I remember.
GP, we'll say GP. He goes, oh my gosh, she loved you.
Yes.
And like called me out and my face got so red and I was embarrassed. And then I was like, felt like such a loser. And I just like walked off.
But he was so cool about it.
Yeah,
I totally forgot about that.
But he was talking about residuals. And he was saying like, he'll get stuff for 40 cents in the mail and it's not even worth his time.
So do I.
Yeah, no, but he was on like big. He was like a.
I thought you were saying no. Mine are like for 16 cents. It's even worse.
But he was just. How does that happen? And then like SAG, I feel like people aren't even in SAG anymore. What's the point?
I don't know. To be part of a union that, I don't know. I'm in SAG. I haven't paid my dues. They keep calling me. I'm like, I'm never paying you guys. But then if I get, like, say I do a little movie or something and it's SAG, I got to pay back my dues to get paid.
Oh,
you know, because I'm in
that's how
the union.
it works.
I'm like, dude, I haven't lived in California for 10 years.
But a girlfriend of mine works on movies. Oh, well, she's our friend.
But SAG protects you if, like, it's the Screen Actor Guild. It protects you. So, like, if you're on a job with SAG, if they don't pay you, like, within 30 days, they'll go after them and they'll fine them. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So you're just paying to be in a union that's supposed to protect you.
Because people don't like paying on time.
And then some jobs are SAG only. Like, you know, they're like, are you union for this job? And then some are non-union only. And some
because with DBL, at first you thought like, oh, this is going to be SAG. That's good because your insurance is free. Right. And then there's so many perks because our friend that works in television, her insurance and everything is covered through SAG because she gets so many hours.
Right. And then last year we lived in LA when we had Lawson, I booked that Ford commercial and you have to make X amount of money.
Oh yeah, that's right.
And then you get insurance and then we had SAG insurance for that year.
How random was that?
I know. And then I got DBL. Things were rolling.
Yeah, but your mindset, you were a go-getter. Now you're just like, fuck it, I don't care.
That's what I'm saying. I need to get back to the fiery.
Start doing yoga. Go out in nature. Go do something.
You're telling me?
I'm the one motivating you all the time. Don't even start.
Your motivation is, I'm getting a Starbucks.
Don't even.
Don't even tell me to walk outside.
Okay, if I put Sam Shocker on the phone right now and had her on speaker and was like, who motivates Jeff the most? She would say me.
Okay, you could have just said to call somebody. You don't know.
Because we talk about Sam and she's your co-host and she knows. Okay, read your card.
Wow. It's like that?
Yeah, get some inspiration from your card. So read it.
I don't like your attitude. All right. I guess we're good. All right. I'm going to motivate myself. You could cover your ears. I find the great things in this world is not so much where we stand as in what direction we are moving. To reach the fort of heaven, we must sail sometimes with the wind and sometimes against it. But we must sail and not drift, nor lie at anchor.
That card's too long.
No, it's not. It made sense.
Namaste.
I think I'm going to go walk outside in the grass barefoot, everybody. Happy Father's Day to everybody out there. I hope I have a good one, and we'll see you next time.
Bye.